broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Look for it, hey your bitch on the surfboard.
Surfboard.
What's going on, guys?
Surfboard.
Welcome back to Kourtney and Khloé Take the Hamptons, right here on AfterBuzz TV. Thank you for sticking with us on this Sunday night. 2 weeks since we have seen you last. Obviously, we had Thanksgiving last Sunday. Didn't end up doing a show. We apologize for that. We were all out of town and schedules got crossed up. And guess what? Everybody survived. I don't think we missed a whole hell of a lot. In fact, we didn't miss a whole hell of a lot. But we'll cover it a little bit tonight. You are watching AfterBuzzTV.com. Kourtney and Khloé Take the Hamptons. This is Captain Court and Skipper Scott we're talking about today. Jesse is out, going to be out next week too. I am Bobby. That's Frankie and Sterling. Ladies, hello.
Apparently, I'm Franklin Dugan Roosevelt today.
That's your new nickname.
That's my new nickname for Bobby.
Frankie Dugan rocks. All right, ladies, let's jump in right now. And as we jump in, as everybody
No pun intended,
Surfboard.
right?
That's true, actually. No pun intended. I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Little
Really, no pun was intended.
No, it
sailing
yeah.
joke. As we jump in on this, remember,
Anywho.
on iTunes or YouTube, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and keep bringing the YouTube comments. We love hearing from you guys on YouTube and on iTunes. Keep rating us and doing all that good stuff. We love to hear from you guys, so keep doing that. Let's jump in today, and we are going to start. Where are we starting? I'm totally discombobulated. Let's start with the podcast. We're doing a podcast today.
It's weird, right?
Scott and Kourtney do a podcast.
Can we do one in a bathtub?
Our podcast is
Yeah,
better
next
than theirs.
week maybe. We should bring our own bathtub.
Hang on, because let me put a stop to this.
I'll
right
wear
now.
my surfboard.
First off,
I know, that was really cute.
Yeah, it was good.
I need a couple weeks to get into shape. So let's do
But
it.
the bubbles.
Yeah,
Because I'm
it
still
hides a
working off
lot.
Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah,
the
it
bubbles
hides a lot, but it doesn't hide everything. You still got to walk to the tub. You know what I'm saying?
We'll be in it when
Yeah,
it starts.
And it was.
We'll think of logistics after tonight.
And number two, I seem to remember at the start of the summer when we were doing the main Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you two were talking a whole lot of crap about doing a striptease class and making me do it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and that never
yeah.
came to fruition.
You guys,
Well, we
guess
didn't
what?
get enough retweets, right?
Yeah, we didn't get enough retweets in one day.
We got a lot though, and y'all could have made it happen.
So
You
you're
didn't make
bringing it
happen.
up, so you want to do it.
Right.
No, I'm just saying y'all don't follow through on anything when it comes to challenges on this show.
Listen, I actually went to a pole class yesterday and it was amazing.
And
So
that's why
now
I thought of it.
I'm gonna make you guys. We're gonna make you do it.
I saw your Instagram post, and that's
was
why I thought of it.
Snapchat.
Or Snapchat, whatever. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, let's actually get to the show. This is boring as hell for everybody who's listening and our internet chat.
No one cares about it.
Literally no one cares about us, least of all me.
Let's sigh.
Let's talk podcast with Kourtney and Scott.
Okay.
First things
You mean
first.
Khloé and Scott.
I mean Khloé and Scott, excuse me. First things first, Khloé turns down the moneyed job. And I don't want me to jump to the end, but this is a big issue. She turns down the moneyed job to show loyalty to Scott and says, I want to do it with him, which is a really sweet thing. I don't think the three of us really understand why Scott couldn't do radio. I don't know if that's the whole story we're getting, if his brand is that toxic.
I mean, I'd listen to him.
I
so
would
I don't
too.
know.
Yeah, and radio operates on a 7-second delay from a guy who did a lot of talk radio. If Scott did swear, he's not going to go off with 100 swear words. If he did slip up, you're going to be able to cover it.
Yeah, well, that's what's so great about Scott, and that's why people watch the show, is to tune into Scott and see what he's doing. So it's not like someone wants to listen to this boring person the whole time.
Scott is carrying this season of the show, obviously,
Yeah.
for good and bad, for his serious rehab stuff and for some of the ridiculous things he does. But it was nice to see Khloé be loyal to him. However, Scott was right when he said at the end, you don't turn down a paying gig.
Yeah.
You know, if you've maybe made millions and millions, which I know the Kardashians have, but even then, it's tough to turn down a paying gig because the second you start doing that, you start losing relevance.
Right. Well, it's also hard to say what exactly the gig that Khloé was offered was, because they didn't mention anything about it. And not only that, but so we don't know if it's like that cool. Like, I feel like if it was that big of a thing, then she would have considered it a little more. But she's also done Khloé After Dark before, so she knows what she likes and what she doesn't like about a radio show. And so I think this time around, she wants to do it her way or not at all.
Yeah.
And I think that includes Scott for her. So it makes sense. She's been down that road before. She's learned her lessons, whatever they may have been. And she wants to do the show with someone she has good chemistry with, someone who she think would be funny, whatever. And you know, I don't think it's just because she wants to support Scott. I think it's, you know, so that she's having fun while she's doing it too.
Comfort on air is a huge thing, and obviously because I love the two of you so much, that's what makes this show so good, because we genuinely like each other.
Stop it. We do?
But
this is all for show.
You're right about that. I mean, you do want to be with somebody comfortable. And can Khloe get along with like almost everybody? Probably, yeah. They could put her with somebody and she'd be fine. But you want to do with somebody you really like. Now, the other thing though, Khloe, God love ya, is a terrible host. Remember the X Factor? She's not good on air. Khloe After Dark, there were like 6 co-host personalities on that. She did not lead that thing. It was her name and she was there, but she wasn't the only one. Khloe's not great on air in that regard. So when you turn down a gig like this to improve, to get better, and to stay relevant, I gotta wonder, with the lack of talent you have, and I'm not saying I'm a good host, I just know Khloe's not, the lack of talent that you have.
You're a good host, Bobby.
No, I'm not. The lack of talent that you have when you're Khloe at this point, once you turn down a job, you may not have another one coming around the pipe.
Yeah.
That may be it.
I don't know. Well, I can't really speak from experience because I don't have bucket loads of money like they do, and all these opportunities that are kind of just coming at them because of who they are and the brand that their family has. So, I mean, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard for her to get another opportunity like this in the future, especially with Chris and everyone pushing for her. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the podcast will become the next big thing for them.
Hey, podcasts are hot. Are you guys listening to Serial?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And AfterBuzz?
Maybe Khloe will do Serial next season. No. But we do see the podcast. We see them in the bathtub. Thank you. Vindication. Khloe and Scott in the bathtub together. They're clearly in love.
No.
This is a thing.
Let's not get into that again. Although
I'm so over having this same
I didn't watch the episode, but were they naked?
No.
They were close.
They were in swimsuits?
They were close.
And even Khloe in there said, you stay on this side of the faucet and I stay on this side of the faucet.
I know, I'm just teasing you guys.
No, you're not.
But there was like some, I don't watch the episodes. I don't know what episode was what, but over Thanksgiving weekend, my wife and my sister were watching the episodes, and there was one where there was like a, I don't know, something, like she sat on a nail or something do you guys know what I'm talking about?
This might have been the tick thing.
Yeah.
With her butt.
Yeah, with her butt, and then he was like hitting her and he was talking about her boob. And I was
Oh,
like,
that was a couple weeks ago.
You're describing about a third of Kardashian episodes in history.
But I was like, it looks like there's like some weird sexual tension going on. It's like he's hitting on his sister-in-law.
Sean, I don't need this right now. You're not helping me.
And Sean, let's take a real quick detour because you're among friends here. This is a safe zone. You don't need to say my wife and her sister were watching. Every guy tries to make that excuse. We know you found it on channel and you didn't switch back to the football game. You don't have to lie. Okay? You're among Kardashian fans here. See nothing. There you go. There you go.
Dead silence from me.
No comment.
None.
So, okay, so let's get back to this podcast. Do you think that podcast will ever go anywhere? I don't remember really hearing about it.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. I haven't really heard anything from that. I mean, everything we saw was on Instagram when they posted, the picture a long time ago. And then as we see in the end of the episode, they're on the boat and Khloe just gets up in the middle of their second podcast. So, I mean, I don't know.
I think it's a great idea. They should have done it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would have been. We would have listened. Let's be honest. We would have listened.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and I know they wouldn't have gotten the same numbers as maybe the television show polls, but I think they could have gotten a fair amount of people. Just
right, and that doesn't mean it can't turn into something else in the future.
Yeah. So kudos to them, I guess, for trying and getting in the bathtub. God love them. So speaking of getting in the bathtub and getting a little bit wet, let's talk about.
Are we going to dive into this topic?
We're gonna dive in, Frankie. Let's talk about Scott, Khloe again, and Kourtney now sailing.
I'm glad they called Kourtney out for always trying to say she's an expert at whatever, she's good at everything, blah, blah, blah.
Kourtney is a control freak.
She's like, I went to sailing camp when I was 11. And Khloe's like, what? Yeah,
Well-
you were 6. You don't remember.
Well, listen.
That was like
she
2
just-
decades
So
ago.
it's like we weren't friends. You were sick.
Yeah, we weren't friends. Who says that?
She's very confident in her abilities. You need that. Hey, listen, confidence kills, and you fake it till you make it. And Kourtney faked it and faked it and faked it, and then when the time came to make it, she didn't make it. But she didn't turn the boat over. They didn't do as bad as I know you guys thought they were going to do.
Well, sailing is hard.
Yeah, it's very physically difficult.
I myself went to it wasn't a sailing camp, but it was
Were you 6?
similar. No, I was 12, I think. But I did the motorboating.
Oh,
The
really?
motorboats.
You did what?
I didn't do any sailing. I just did the ones with the motors. I wasn't coordinated enough for the sailing. Anyway,
No,
it's
go
hard.
on. I want to
Moral
hear
of the
about.
story is it's
I would
difficult.
love to hear about
the
Sterling motorboating.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. I really
PG.
appreciate
Come on, let's
that.
keep it PG.
Tell us in the most PG terms what motorboating's all about, Sterling, please.
Well, it takes a lot of control, Bobby. Anyways, enough about me.
She's turning the color of that iPhone case.
Our systems detect that a host has wandered off the subject. Please return at once.
Wow.
Okay, I
I've
think
never heard that one
Yeah.
before. So
that's
there
a
we
new
go,
one.
yeah.
I think they got that one specifically
For me.
For us.
for all
probably
of
our
us.
show.
Okay.
Probably
Anyways,
ours, yeah.
If you think it's you, it is you.
let's
For our show.
get back to on topic here.
Well,
Back
you know
to
what?
sailing.
She said, well, when I took my sailing class, it was like a wooden boat, and we were actually standing up, and this and this and this. You know, she had every excuse after. If he would have got me a boat and said, okay, sail, I'd be like, okay, well, you know what? I know I said I was great at it, but this is not what I learned on. She was like, yeah, whatever. Fake it till you make it.
Well, fake it till you make it. I think that's what Kourtney was doing, and I think she did better than I thought. I thought she was going to not be able to get off the dock, and she sailed him out there for a while, and then kind of tipped it a little bit. And Scott,
I felt like they were being a little bit extra dramatic, though.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
well, they always are.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, but I mean, you know, with the water and the boat, they were kind of moving from side to side. Like something that small, I would be like stuck in one spot, like I'm not moving.
We will not be seeing Kourtney in America's Cup anytime soon.
Doesn't the water go in the boat though?
It
like
does
when
a
you
little
turn
bit.
and
When you're in a
stuff?
boat that small, like there's
Yeah.
going to be stuff's going to come over the top. Now you don't want to sink the damn thing,
Well,
so
yeah.
I guess there's a threshold that you don't want to go over. But yeah, you're not going to be. It's not like sailing on a cruise ship where it feels like you're on dry land.
Right.
You're beat around pretty good on something like that. I thought Kourtney did pretty good. I was proud of her. I wasn't proud of Scott's reprisal
Yeah, that was
with
kind
the
of
bucket.
weird.
That was a little.
Like it wasn't like she purposely knocked off. And matter of fact, to me, it looked
like he jumped off.
He jumped off. Yeah, exactly. It looked like it was kind of like I said, he was being over dramatic.
Hey, whoa! Are you telling me that something on this show was staged?
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely
Shut
not.
the front door. And also, I was really surprised that Kourtney didn't react more dramatically to him pouring the bucket of water.
'Cause
on
they
her.
only
Yeah,
had-
you're right. He did. She didn't.
That was
she
the
was
most.
very.
That was the most calm I've ever seen her.
Because they only had 30 seconds left in the show.
Yeah, that's probably
That's why.
it.
They told her, they said, Kourtney, we need a filler for the last minute while we're running credits. React, but don't get pissed off and don't threaten to leave him.
Actually, this episode, she wasn't like naggy Kourtney. She was like total cool Kourtney.
Well, they casted her to play normal Kourtney this time. The producers, that is. The writers.
Can we like segue really fast
Absolutely.
into how cute Mason and P are?
Yeah.
Like when Penelope kissed
That's awesome,
Chloe's
Coco.
leg. Yeah, and then Mason, oh my God.
Well,
So
cute.
cute.
you're not going to find a disagreement from me. And whoever kid number 3 is, it's a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
Woo.
So how
I
old,
like how Mason, when he was sad because he said he wanted a girl.
Yeah.
how
It's
old,
really cute.
How old are Mason and Penelope now?
Penelope's 2.
Like 2.5.
So
and
Mason's like probably like
4?
4?
I think he's 5. 4 or
Five.
5. Somewhere like that. Yeah.
He's
He's the
getting there.
cutest. What
Yeah.
did you guys think about Kourtney when the whole Khloé Scott podcast stuff was going on? She walked in the tub, then Khloé like asked her permission for everything before they did it, like even the music video, which we'll talk about in a second, and then also the podcast. And at first when Khloé told Kourtney about the podcast, she was like, look, I turned down this huge radio gig, blah, blah, blah. And Kourtney was just kind of like, yeah. That's like all she said. She didn't really have...
This is going to come out wrong, and I expect a lot of people to blow me up for this. I have credited Kim, Chris, and Khloé, and Kendall now, specifically those 4 women, with being very, very, very business savvy. As ditzy as they are, as superficial as they are, they're smart business people. Kourtney is a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's awesome, and I think it's great what she's doing for her kids that Kim's kids will not have. Now, are Kim's kids going to be screwed up? No, but it's going to be a little bit different because Kim's probably going to treat motherhood a little bit different than Kourtney does. But with Kourtney's mom-first attitude, when you come to Kourtney with business, whether it's Scott or Khloe, because she's done the same thing with Scott, how is she going to understand? I know she does business. I know she does whatever with the brand. I know she's part of their stuff that goes into stores. I know she just did her own magazine shoot that we can talk about in a second.
Yeah.
But she's not on the level that Khloe is. She's certainly not on the level Kim is. And when you're talking about business with her, yeah, of course she's going to say yeah, because I think she has just no frame of reference. And not that it's a bad thing, it just doesn't interest her.
Well, I also think that she agrees that this is a good outlet for Scott and a good distraction for him during his recovery process.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and so far so good with the recovery. He resisted the urge to go and do the music video, even though apparently it would have been relatively clean from what it looked like.
Right.
But he still resisted the urge to do that. He will talk about that in a second. But back to Kourtney more pointedly, and I guess the last thing with Kourtney, now that we've seen her a little more relaxed and we know the gender of the child, which, by the way, let's take bets on names. What are they going to name the kid?
I haven't even had it. We just found out it was a boy like 2 hours ago.
So what's your hot boy name of 2015? Is it
Mason, Penelope?
No.
No, they would have named Mason Robert.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mason and Penelope are like so different, so I don't see a theme.
Can I put forth a suggestion?
Yeah, what is it?
How about Bruce?
No. No
Just
way.
kidding. I love how you guys just look at me with such disdain that Frankie's like, I'm not talking anymore on the show.
Do you think they would do something like after Scott's parents, maybe, since that was a huge thing this
year? Was his name Jeff? His dad was Jeff?
Yeah, maybe
I wonder
like
if there's a middle name or something.
Or modernize it, like is
Joffrey.
As opposed to Jeffrey, maybe like, I don't know, Jefferson. Not that it makes a difference if you call the kid Jeff anyways.
I
but modernize it a little bit.
I feel like that would be a good thing. I would like to see them do something with Scott's family.
Yeah, and they would probably be deservedly so to do that, especially considering where they are right now when she's going through the pregnancy. Last question with Kourtney. This is the hot one. What do we think about that magazine cover? Du Jour magazine. Hey, listen, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I'd never heard of Paper magazine. We know about it now. This week, never heard of Du Jour magazine. We know about it now. Did I subscribe to either one? Hell no. Will I? No, of course not.
Did you see the pictures? Yes. Hell yes.
But
Sean did too.
Talk about branding. Sean's nodding his head. He's like, I saw boobs.
He's like, I thought.
Boobs.
So what
was that the picture where she's like really pregnant, she's standing up, it's black and white?
Yeah.
Wow, I think I just like
you know so much about this, more than you think you do.
I was looking on Instagram and like random things. I just typed in like search for Kourtney and Khloé because I heard they were at the party we attended this past Friday.
I'm so sad I missed that.
And I saw that picture. It's amazing how like even me trying to be very specific and using Instagram, it still got to me and I still got infiltrated by that du jour cover.
Right. Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
All the excuses that he makes. Was that the picture? When he should be saying that was the picture because you damn well know it was the picture.
I saw it. It was like it was seriously like 5 pixels by 5 pixels. That's how much of it I saw.
So this quote, it says, it's a quote by Kourtney, and it says, "I'm at my best when I'm pregnant." And we know that. We know she loves having kids. We know she loves being pregnant, and that whole process, she basically lives for that. So I feel like it's not surprising that she's doing all of these, because she's very proud of her body, as she should be. And so it's not surprising at all, especially a week before we had Kim's naked body. Yeah. Now it's.
Hey, listen, we're real body positive on this show. I would hope. I thought Kim's spread was fine.
I loved it.
And I thought Kourtney's spread was beautiful.
It is. I think it's a really beautiful thing when you can, like I said this about Kim 2 weeks ago, that for you to stand naked and let someone take a picture of you, that's very, what's the word I'm blanking?
Empowering.
Yeah, it's you have to be really comfortable.
It takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so, especially when you're pregnant, because remember when Kim was pregnant, she was like, I'm so fat, I'm a cow. A lot of people feel really uncomfortable.
But Kourtney is very proud.
Yeah, and Kourtney's just, it's a really beautiful picture.
And she also said, it's a wonderful thing to be able to show my children these photographs one day and say, this was you inside.
I think that would be cool. I might personally be a little creeped out, but I could see a lot of kids saying, hey, that's pretty, that's nice.
I loved her shirt in the show that said, human. It had an arrow pointed to her stomach. It said like
human growing.
Human growing. Yeah, that's really cute.
Hey, I'm going to say one more quote because her Instagram is just throwing them at me. It's such an amazing feeling, the transformation that your body goes through. There's something about it and that's so empowering and beautiful, and I just really embrace it.
Yeah.
So here we are. She looks great in these pictures.
You're killing it with the sound effects
whoa,
today.
whoa! We got a live studio audience at AfterBuzz today. Disregard what Frankie just said. How you doing, everybody? Okay, hey, we are not in a studio. We're in front of 250 people. Okay, Kourtney, okay, we love that picture. Let's move on. As we move on, I said it at the start of the show, but again, if you haven't yet, hit subscribe on iTunes and give us a rating. Hopefully it's 4 stars, and it's not 0. If it is 0, everybody blames Sterling.
What?
I'm just teasing.
Just
I'm just trying to keep it light.
Okay.
All right, let's
Sorry,
move
I was
on.
mid-drinking my water.
That's why
when
I did
he did that.
You couldn't
Kermit,
defend yourself.
That was the worst time. I couldn't even defend
It
myself.
was just there was just an open period, and I knew if I did it to Frankie, she'd hit me across the table.
No, not at all. I'm not a violent person.
Yeah, let's talk music video now.
Don't panic.
The only way to
Don't
talk about the
panic.
music video is
Don't
to do
panic.
it in the voice. So we got French Montana.
And what's funny is like
Cannot understand anything he said.
You guys-
Sean, can we get can you do an impersonation of French Montana?
I can't because I didn't get to watch that
Stop
much of
it!
the show.
Don't do that! Don't do that! I knew he was.
You watched it, Sean.
You watched it, Sean. You know exactly what.
I
French
just
does.
saw him sit down at the table with them. I don't know what scene it was. It was outside, it looked like. And I was
think
like,
that
oh,
was
that's
the
the
first
guy.
episode of
That's the
this
guy
one.
that they were talking about on the AfterBuzz TV after show.
Well,
No,
if he was mumbling, he was talking.
I was gonna say, I actually heard someone else outside of AfterBuzz the other day say that they have no idea what he says ever, and I was like, oh my god, it's really
That's what-
true. Like I thought it was just us being like kind of funny,
That's
but this
ridiculous.
episode, I was like, wait. Thank God for we watch it with the captions.
That's what all the comments were a couple weeks ago on YouTube.
Yeah, and
no one can understand him.
I was telling you guys during the screening, I just couldn't even imagine dating someone who can't enunciate their words. It's just
He would just have to, like,
everything
rap
he
everything.
says is yeah, so we're going through it. Like,
if
yeah,
anybody's
what
gonna
the hell
date
did you
Chris,
just say?
I'm gonna date Chris. If anybody's gonna date Chris, remember when he said that?
I thought
Yeah,
that was
right.
the guy that was.
No, that was him.
That was French.
Oh.
Can you imagine like talking to him before you're going to bed or something, and then he's like dozing off, so you don't really know if he's asleep or not? I just imagine these conversations, and I just
Can you
get
imagine?
frustrated.
You know when you're on the phone with like the bank or something, and you have to give them numbers or you spell your last name. Could you imagine him spelling his name? Sometimes you have to like they don't know the letters like between D or B or T or something like that. Could you imagine him be like
At
Starbucks?
his cup would say like. Bob. They were like, I don't know. Let me just put any name.
And he's probably the only one that spelled right.
Yeah, that's good.
That should
Oh,
be.
French, I still love you.
Don't panic.
No, I'm saying he has to rap it all the time. Like he should literally just speak in rap.
Bobby and I were out there listening to Don't Panic, and before we came in here, and we were like, wait, we can understand him more in this song than we
Yeah.
can when he's actually
That's what I'm
talking.
saying.
Is he
Kinda
like
cray.
a really lazy Sylvester Stallone
Kind of. It's just a lot of mumbling.
That's an interesting comparison, Sylvester Stallone. Maybe he's like, I don't know what I would possibly describe him as. It's like, and I don't think he has any sort of
He's the only one with subtitles on the show.
like. Because I hope we're not being mean to him if he has a speech impediment. I don't believe he does. If he does have a speech
I think he
impediment,
just talks,
we all
more
feel
quietly.
awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think he's quiet, and I think he's like got too lazy to speak. at
Maybe
some
he
point.
just embellishes for the show. They say, hey, you kind of have like that, like a really lazy slur people can't understand. Do it more.
Do it more.
That's really in right now. Nobody understanding what you say is hot right now, French. You're gonna blow up as a rapper, bro. You, Frankie, have Vine, correct?
I do.
Okay, we're going to start something on your Vine because I don't feel like signing up for it because I'm not 15 years old. But we're going to start something on your Vine that is French Montana Speaks. And I want to take videos of us just doing French Montana.
Yeah.
It's going to blow up.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's going to blow up. We can do it on mine if you want.
Okay, great. You have Vine too?
I have an account, but I haven't made a Vine.
Because you're not 15.
Well, I still watch the Vines.
Oh.
Just don't make them.
Okay, Matt. I don't mean to insult
You
any
don't have to be
15-year-olds.
15.
I do have Snapchat, so I guess I have no room to talk.
Ticks.
You want to talk about ticks?
I just thought it was funny that Khloé got a tick on her butt.
Thanks for that contribution.
All right, back to French Montana.
Back to French Montana and the video. One serious thing about the video is Scott and Ramadan before we get to Khloé and what the hell that video looked like.
But you know what? Since we did have the captions on, I never can tell if it's the captions on the show or the captions that we watch with the captions. But anyways, someone at one point, while they were doing that scene with the burning car, whatnot, said, "Hey everyone, let's all take a shot before we do this scene."
Oh, you saw?
Yeah. So maybe I misheard it or misread it, and it was talking about like
a camera shot instead
camera
of
shots, but I could have sworn. But that was the only reference I heard of anything alcohol related.
Oh, I know what you're saying. It was everybody in the video is gonna get a shot.
Everyone's gonna get a close-up
So then,
shot.
yeah,
it could have been alcohol. Actually, now that I think about it, but I immediately thought like a feature. Like
that's what
I was like.
shot.
I don't know, but
then they did the Khloé thing. They're like, okay, now on Khloé. And
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Woo! Glad we cleared that up.
Yeah. Whew. So but I mean, I feel like Scott wasn't really well informed to what his part in the video was going to be. You know, we didn't know until they're like, "Where's Scott? He's supposed to be the main person," and the blah blah blah. I'm like, oh well. If he knew that, would he be that flaky on that?
Well, at first it sounded like Khloé just was inviting him there to be a support system for him. I didn't even think he was in the video. And then it turned into an appearance, and then by the end of it, he's the main character in the thing. So, like, I feel like he didn't even know what was going on.
And by the end of it, they said, if we had 2 hours where we know he wasn't coming, we could have found somebody to replace him. So if you could have found somebody to replace him that fast, how important actually was he?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he was doing it to support Khloé at first, but then he realizes it's not the best place to be in that environment when you're a recovering alcoholic. I mean,
I'm really just confused
instead of a rap video.
About the concept of the damn video.
Yeah.
I was laughing that whole scene when the car was on fire.
It looks like a movie.
It's just fun. Yeah, he's like, it looks like a movie, but I just imagine all of those guys there just like bouncing, and like the song's not even like without the editing and the song and this stuff, and he's not actually rapping. That just looked really funny to me.
I couldn't ever, if I were ever a musician, and I'm never gonna be, but if I were ever a famous musician, I had to do a music video, I would want to do one of those where you tell a story, you hire some actors and tell some beautiful 3-minute short film, because I don't want to be on there strumming a fake guitar and like lip syncing my own stuff with no music. How do you do that?
Well, it's not lip sync. They like most of the time they're singing it, but the voice, the voice is separate.
Yeah, but you're just it's so fake. I don't know. I couldn't sell it. But again, I'm no damn musician or actor. So Scott, did he make the right move? Not. Yes.
Sorry, interjection.
Go right ahead.
How cool are you to be like, oh, we'll go pick you up in the helicopter?
You're pretty cool.
When I heard that, I was like,
cool.
Hey, Sterling, Bobby, you want to take a ride in my helicopter to AfterBuzz today?
Well, on the flip side of that, you're either pretty cool or you're Donald Trump.
I mean, he's pretty cool.
Interesting.
He's Donald Trump.
Don't panic.
Okay, anyways, do we think Scott should have done that?
Yeah, did he make the right move?
Since it really looked like it was like no alcohol on set, and I've actually been on a few music video sets where I've never seen alcohol either. They weren't necessarily like rap videos, so I'm sure sometimes it could get a little crazy. Actually, I lie. I've been on one with alcohol, but I think he would have been fine for the most part.
I agree with Kourtney. I think he should have been upfront with Khloé and French about not just say, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to be there. Just tell them, and then you can hang out with your family. Like, if he had told them, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal as it was. So, I mean, I don't think necessarily he should have been there. If he thought legitimately that was going to be a problem for his recovery, then yeah, he shouldn't have gone. But he should have been honest about not wanting to go and just by not telling them. That's kind of like, okay,
that's one of my pet peeves when people just like either don't respond back because they don't want to say that they don't want to go, or they're like, oh well, maybe. It's like, just be up forward. I'm not forward and honest. I'm not going to be mad at you, because there's times people want to do things and I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Well, and on the flip side, just throw this out here, play devil's advocate. Do you think Scott maybe says, I don't want to be associated with a French Montana video, so when push comes to shove, oh, hey, it's alcohol, I can't be there. That's a legit excuse. You can't call me on it.
He already said he was in a French Montana video before.
Earlier, much before. And now he's like, no thanks.
But why wouldn't he? They're like buddies and stuff.
Are they buddies? Are they that close?
they're like cool.
I never got. I mean, maybe they're cool.
It
but I never
sounded
got
like
the
it was
impression
more of
that
a
they're-
favor to Khloe.
Yeah.
To Scott, it was him doing a favor for Khloe.
Yeah, I mean for the show exactly. That's what it was.
It's because he's jealous and he doesn't want to be on set with the guy who he actually likes.
I love you.
Khloe.
I love
Oh,
you.
you guys.
I'm
Can we
terrible.
turn
I love
his
you.
mic off? Like,
No,
how does that
no,
work?
we
I'm
can't.
gonna
He
rip
actually-
his headset off.
he-
If I'm
he
going to be
controls
sitting
the
here,
mics.
if I'm going to be sitting here, I might as well interject.
Yeah.
He controls the mics, and he
Still
is
get
damn
jealous.
correct about that.
What were you singing?
I was just singing a little Nick Jonas, the
Oh.
Jealous song.
Oh, okay. I was like, where did that
Okay.
come from?
It's jealous.
Also,
Maybe remind.
I liked
Anyways.
Scott said 2 funny things today. One was
Not that we're counting.
yeah. I mean, he probably said a lot more than it, but that one part where we were talking about when he dumps the water on Kourtney, he's like, "This is the time of the day that she goes and takes Instagram pictures," which is funny, even though that's more funny that she does that.
And probably true.
Yeah, and then when Khloe, why was she even pointing out her birth control? But he's like, you should show Kourtney what that is.
Yeah, right.
Seriously. Well, he should have got his vasectomy. She was right when she called him on that. When Khloe called him on that about the vasectomy. Last question before we do predictions for you, Sterling. This is a 60-minute show. It runs about 44 minutes. What minute tonight were you deathly bored?
18.
Okay, we're gonna start a new watch. It was minute 18 of this episode. We're gonna start a new
No,
watch.
I was just surprised because we went to fast forward through commercials and then I saw that it was only 18 minutes in. I thought we had been watching for almost 2 hours.
It's disheartening. No, you have no idea. It's totally disheartening when that happens. Okay,
Thanks for calling that out.
let's-
Yeah.
Thank you very
No
much.
No comment on my end.
I
I
agree with
love
you.
the show.
I agree with Sterling.
I love it.
I love it.
I wish there were 18 more minutes in it.
Frankie's up for a promotion within the Kardashian family. Let's go to predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I predict Sterling and I are mysteriously kicked off the after show after making that old 18-minute comment. And Sean moves from the engineer's booth up to the front desk. All right.
He's secretly the biggest Kardashians
He's
fan.
like,
He's
yes.
just like,
All right, guys. Predictions this week. What you got?
I mean, just from looking at the preview for next week, I think it's going to be kind of interesting or fun to see how this Kim and Chris thing with the houses. Like, really, you guys are really both want the same apartment. Come on.
it's an apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
New
I
York
guess
City.
that's not really a
Okay,
prediction.
it's a New
I'm
York
just kind
City
of excited.
apartment.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with Kim and Kanye right now? Are they still living with Chris?
As far
Like in
this is
LA,
being filmed,
in
yeah.
LA.
Yeah, I think so.
When they're in LA, yeah, they're with because
That
they
is
do
so
have a
crazy to
place
me.
in New York.
Well,
now.
they were building that house for a couple of years or whatever it was, and then they just stopped building it. Like, so what's that house doing right now? Is it just
They're gonna
chilling? Like,
sell
I
it.
don't what
Didn't what's her? Or no, that was Chloe's place. Yeah, no, I feel like during the regular season we brought this up and we said that the article had said that they were going to sell it.
So shouldn't they find an LA home before they think about getting a New York apartment?
Here's an interesting thing, and I don't know how much it plays into it, and certainly they have all the money to do whatever they want. It's not a financial issue. But Kanye, between all of his gigs and companies and clothing and touring and all this stuff, he's on the road like 9,000 days a year. So
9,000.
Yeah, all 9,000. So I know he wants
The math.
I know he wants a home for his wife, obviously. He's not
Yeah.
forgotten about them by any means. But he's got a little bit of a different mindset on it because to a certain extent, with the home, not with the family, with the home, it's out of sight, out of mind. He's always on the road. They're always somewhere, whether he's in Paris or New York or in some random city touring. So what's his incentive to really get that house done?
I just can't imagine Kanye West living in Kris Jenner's house.
Oh, no, neither
That
do I.
just
But he
is
never
so-
lives there. He's probably
Yeah.
very rarely there. That's the thing.
So it's probably Kim that's just wanting to stay there. And
Yeah, I think so. I can't imagine Kanye living there either. At least not for more than maybe a day or two here or there.
Yeah.
Kim probably goes and visits him all the time wherever
Yeah.
they are. And he's on the road a lot.
Apparently they hadn't seen each other in a month, and they just saw each other this weekend for the first time in over,
I
that
predict
long,
that
which is-
Frankie's making a paper airplane. How?
It's a heart, guys. It's a heart.
Any other predictions? Any other good stuff coming up, you guys? Hey, who's the next Kardashian to pose naked in a magazine? 2 weeks ago
Kendall.
was Kim.
Well, Kendall already kind of did, remember?
She already did.
but not like completely. I feel like
No.
she's moving there though.
You need boobs? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm
That's
just
rude.
saying I think she's the next one, obviously.
Interesting.
Kylie was in a Beats commercial, like Beats by
Oh,
Dre.
Kylie and Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall was kind of in the background of it. It was more Kylie.
What about Brody?
Brody's
nude
not gonna...
action. Yeah, I'd like that.
No comment. All right, that's
Oh,
it.
jeez.
That's all the time we got today. When we start talking about naked guys, I'm done. Social media.
Wait, didn't you bring that up though?
Yeah, I did. I just wanted to see what Sterling would say. Everybody relax.
I forgot how to make a paper heart. Okay, anyways.
Wow. All right, hey, social media links, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. Sterling, where can they tweet you?
You can find me on the Twitters and the Instagrams at Sterling Cates.
Twitter, Instagram, XOXOCESCA. Also, my website, same XOXOCESCA. Check it out.
Big timer.
Sometimes.
Giving out our own website. I'm on Twitter at Bobby DeMuro, Instagram at Mr. Bobby DeMuro, and I actually posted something last week, so follow me on Instagram.
Last week.
That's it. I'm no Kardashian when it comes to Instagram. That's it this week. Sean, thank you very much for helping us out.
Very welcome.
There we go. Give Sean a little shout out.
Bye,
That's it,
Felicia.
guys. We'll see you guys next Sunday. More Kardashians. Good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.